If you're the kind of person who dreams real big, but never seems to follow through, I made this video for you. There is an inner conflict between wanting to achieve a lot, but constantly feeling paralyzed by laziness and procrastination and lack of action. And this is not going to be a typical get up and hustle motivational video. This is real talk about why you might feel this way and how to address it from the root. The paradox of ambitious laziness. Being both ambitious and lazy is a real thing. It's a common experience. Ambition feels exciting in the abstract, but it often doesn't translate into action because the goals are too big or overwhelming. And ambition without action can actually lead to more self-criticism and self-doubt because you know that you're capable more, but you're not doing anything about it. Is it really laziness or is it fear in disguise? It might actually be a fear of failure, a fear of success. Maybe you're lazy about starting a business or a channel because deep down, you're terrified that it's not going to work out. And that will crush your self-worth. So it's easier to just call yourself lazy than to admit that you're actually scared. Your brain is wired to avoid discomfort. So it's not that you don't want to work hard. It's that your brain resists change and effort as a survival mechanism. And habits and routines do play a role here because if you have conditioned yourself to procrastinate, now that has become your default mode. And so the solution isn't necessarily willpower. It's rewiring your brain through small, consistent actions because that's how you're going to create new neural pathways. So you don't need to be productive. You need to be consistent. If you've read James Clear's Atomic Habits, you're very familiar with the strategy to building habits into your routine. Read that book if you haven't because it will really help. And it kind of demystifies it. It also makes it so much more accessible to people. Because when you try to go from 0 to 100 with productivity, like most people do, you burn out. Then you just reconfirm this belief that you have that you're a lazy person and that you're not going to achieve anything and you always give up and you always fail. It's like, oh my gosh, maybe lighten up on the expectations of yourself a little bit. Jesus. Set ridiculously small, manageable goals that will build your self-trust, right? You'll start to believe yourself when you say you're going to do something because you actually do it because it's reasonable, and you'll build your confidence that way over time. So let's say you want to read more or write more. Don't say I'm going to read a book a week. Just say I'm going to read 1 page before bed every night. Literally. Doesn't even have to be a full chapter. If you want to write more, say you're going to write for 5 minutes every day rather than saying I'm going to do my morning pages from, is it Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way? Because even that can seem daunting. 3 full pages every single morning. It could take you a half an hour to an hour. It's a lot. Just say you're going to write for 5 minutes. What are you avoiding? We also need to dive deeper into why you might feel lazy. So take a look at what tasks and goals you constantly avoid and why. Is it because they feel pointless to you? Is it because you don't see the value in them? Or are you worried about what other people will think if you fail? Get honest with yourself. Identify what you're actually avoiding because it's not the thing itself that you're avoiding. It's something that you're making that thing mean. It's something that thing represents to you that you're avoiding. Whether discomfort, self-doubt, finding out that you're not as good as you hoped you'd be. You just have to lower the expectations. Lower the stakes. Don't try to be the best at whatever it is that you're doing. Seriously, don't. Just be a little bit better than yesterday. Give yourself permission to create bad work. Like I just talked about childlike creativity in my last video that you can watch. I'll put a card up above. But just don't worry. It's better than not doing anything at all. I'll use this channel again as an example. If I was worried about being the best right out the gate, you're just never going to get started because it's so paralyzing, even the thought of that and knowing that you're not going to be. So you're going to fail then, right? So you need to just lower the stakes and take some of the pressure off and just try to be a little bit better than the last time. And that's all I've tried to do with creating my videos, with editing my videos, with creating my thumbnails. Everything is just going to be a little bit better than the last time. That's how you make progress and you break this pattern of laziness. Another reason why a lot of people think that they're lazy is because they have no motivation to chase after someone else's idea of success. And so they don't chase it, and then they think they're lazy. But really, it's just that you don't even know what direction you want to be headed, and you're not excited about the direction that other people are throwing in your face and telling you need to head in. Because if you're headed in that direction, you're going to be lazy, and you are not going to give it your all, and you're not going to make progress because you don't actually want to. Because subconsciously you have no desire to even be going in that direction. So trust me, you won't make progress. There will be obstacles, there will be barriers. You'll be tired all the time. You'll have no energy, no motivation whatsoever. But that's actually a sign. That's your own soul protecting you from getting too far away from where you actually want to be going. So it's almost like it puts this governor on you and it just slows you down so that you don't get too far off track. So what you actually need to do is get aligned with what actually matters to you. And I promise, once you actually know what matters to you and where you see yourself in the future, suddenly you're a lot less lazy. The other thing is, not all of us are designed to hustle and grind 24/7. So if you're not naturally inclined to operate that way, that's okay. I'm not either. I need a lot of free time. I need a lot of fun. I need a lot of play. I need a lot of enjoying my life. As long as I'm making steady, consistent, even if it's slow, progress toward what I want, I'm happy with that. You also need to be honest with yourself and compassionate with yourself about your own capacity to hustle and work hard and achieve, right? We all have a different capacity for different types of stress. And achieving a lot and being driven, that is a major stress. Not everyone is equipped to withstand that type of stress consistently all the time without a break. So again, our culture puts so much pressure on being productive, and they have this definition of what that looks like and what it means to be productive. And you have to wake up at 5 a.m. and have a morning routine where you do a cold plunge and then you do infrared sauna and then you drink your lemon water with sea salt and you go outside and ground and stare at the sun and optimize your circadian rhythm. And then you do 2 to 4 hours of deep work. And it's just like, yeah, like for some people that works. Honestly, I think that works very well for men, for people I would say who are like predominantly more masculine in their energy. That is a wonderful strategy. If you are not, that's not gonna work for you. And you need to design your life in a way that is going to be sustainable for you. You may be feeling lazy because you're trying to go about things in a specific way that someone else has defined as the only way to be successful, but it's not. You can be ambitious and you can be achieving a lot, and on the outside, it might look lazy as hell to someone else because it's not how they would do things. Because you have people who are entrepreneurs and building businesses and they're working like 80-hour weeks, 100-hour weeks. They're working all the time and they're addicted to it and they're obsessed. They're ambitious, right? But you also have people who are very ambitious who spend a couple hours day trading online and they might look really lazy to someone else. Or you have a lot of digital creators who create an evergreen course or digital products, and they put a ton of work into these things so that they then can sell them in the future passively and not have to spend so much time working. So they have free time. And so they're very ambitious. They're extremely ambitious and they're not lazy at all. But to someone observing them from the outside, and let's say every day they're just home, they're hanging out with their kids, they're going for walks, they're going on trips all the time, they're laying around watching TV, doing whatever they want with their time because they've designed their life this way and because they've prioritized certain things like creating passive income, they're able to live a lifestyle that might look lazy or seem lazy. Now, I don't know if that's the case for you. For you, it might be that you really are just paralyzed by fear or by pressure to succeed at something immediately to the point that you're just not taking action. Identify one small task that you've been avoiding and commit to it today. It can be a simple thing. It can be making a phone call that you need to make. It can be writing an email. It can be taking a 5-minute walk. If you've been neglecting self-care and you haven't been getting to the gym and you haven't been moving your body, allow your body to move, stretch, get on the floor. And if you're wanting to create something, if you're wanting to write a book, build a website, start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, what could you do today? Like, could you learn what equipment you need? Could you learn what software you're going to need? Could you create an account for the software that you need to use? Could you go look for microphones on Amazon? Could you research what microphones are the best? Could you research a tripod to use? If you're going to write a book, can you find out where you're going to publish it? Can you research different self-publishing options? Look into Amazon Kindle, whatever it is, Amazon KDP or something. It's not about doing everything. It's just about starting somewhere, proving to yourself that you can do it, you can take action. And if you need more motivation, I feel like this video will probably help you with that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.